Hello and namaste everyone. Hope you are all doing fine. I'm Komal Mathur and I'm a legal intern in Lexis and Company. I'm glad to have this opportunity to intern with Lexis and Company. I want to thank them to give me this chance to present in front of you all. So the topic or purpose of my today's video is India's Environmental Protection Act of 1986. In India, environmental protection was not much an issue till mid 1980s. That is, environmental protection as a whole was never seriously considered. The government had enacted various legislation pertaining to the environment in 1970s and 80s, that is the Water Act of 1974, Air Act of 1981 and Indian Forest Policies of 1980. But it took two major pushes, one from the international community and one from the national community to create the proper Environmental Protection Act. Part to getting environmental legislation in India. International impetus came in the form of Stockholm Conference in 1972 to discuss human and their roles in environment. This legislation as a way to implement India's promise for protecting environment. The process received a major push when Bhopal gas tragedy had happened in 1984, leading to thousands of deaths overnight in a gas leak that happened in Bhopal. Lack of legislation pertaining to such accident was the reason the perpetrators as well as the company went scot-free. India was furious, spurring the government into action. The EPA, that is the Environmental Protection Act of 1986, came into force in all of India in November 1986 under an official notification. The Act contains 26 sections divided into 4 chapters. The Act has its genesis in the Indian Constitution's Article 48, Clause A and Article 51, Clause A. The Act is a part of Article 253 of Indian Constitution. Act is special for many reasons. First, it has a sole aim for ensuring protection of the environment, the prevention and the reduction of environmental pollution, and provides the authority to take strict action against the perpetrators. Second, it is an act that takes precedence over other acts. This means that if an offence is committed that is liable to be booked under multiple legislation including this act, EPA 1986 will be given the highest priority. Third, this act forced the country to take note of environmental pollution in a serious way. So, salient features of Environmental Protection Act. The act covers all the forms of pollution, that is air, soil, water or noise. It provides the safe standards for the presence of various pollutants in the environment. It prohibits the use of materials unless hazardous materials unless prior permission taken from the central government. It allows the central government to assign authorities to various jurisdictions to carry out the laws for this act. Now there are some important chapters and sections for the in the Environmental Protection Act which I want to discuss in this video. First is Chapter 2, which gives the general powers of the state central government, and the Section 3 specifies the following points among others. Central government has authority to lay down the standards for different pollutants and also the safe limit for emission or discharge of waste from industries. It can restrict the areas in which industries can operate. It has power to lay down the safety measures and procedures for prevention of accidents and specify the protocol and remedies if such accident occurs. Now, let us know about about the penalties for the non-compliance of this act. Penalty for the contravention under this act is imprisonment of 5 years or fine of rupees 1 lakh or both. Fail to comply with this punishment will result in further penalty of 5,000 rupees per day, followed an extended imprisonment of 7 years. If the offence is committed by a company, the company as well as the director, officer in charge and any other relevant personnel is liable to held guilty under this act. If the offence is conducted by government department, the HOD and any other relevant officer shall be held guilty. HOD can be exempted if he or she can prove that the offence took place without the knowledge, or if they can prove that they did the utmost to prevent the offence. This section also states a case prosecution cannot be filed if the government entity or an office of the government did actions under good faith. Section 22 states that bar of jurisdiction is an important part of Act which prevents any Indian court to take up a case prosecution against an officer who is doing his duty to uphold the law under this Act. So that's it for today. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.